Section 1 of Birds and All Nature, Volume 5, Number 3, March, 1899. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information, or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recorded by Z. Martine. Birds and All Nature, Volume 5, Number 3, March, 1899. Section 1, The Tufted Titmouse. Paris Bicolor, by Linz Jones. How vividly a first meeting with some interesting species rests in the memory of the bird lover. It was at the evening twilight of October 14th, 1886, that a strange whistle rang through that gem of woods near Grinnell, Iowa, which has witnessed the birth of more than one passion for bird study. Soon the busy gleaner came to inquire after the intruder on his chosen feeding grounds, evidently looking for a suitable resting place for the night while taking his evening lunch. The voice, the actions, the appearance, all were new to me, and every movement was watched with breathless interest, lest the next flight should take the bird away beyond recall. At last he settled in a greenbrier tangle, carefully stowed himself away beneath a huge linden leaf, whistled once or twice, and was ready for the coming darkness. Never before nor since have I seen the tufted tit in that Iowa grove, but he is one of the common resident birds at Oberlin, Ohio. Northern Ohio is about the northern limit of his range, which extends into northern New Jersey and southern Iowa, possibly the southern half of Iowa. He ranges west to the eastern border of the plains, occasionally found as far north as Minnesota, and well into Michigan, and is found breeding even to the Gulf of Mexico southward. He appears to be resident wherever found, but no doubt a few venturesome individuals may wander farther north than the usual range. One can hardly mistake the tufted tit for any other bird, for he is very noisy the most of the year, the exceptions being the coldest part of midwinter and during the breeding season, for his songs or whistles are peculiar to him. True, his chickadee-dee closely resembles a chickadee's song to the uninitiated, but the clearly whistled pitu-pitu-pitu, or eatu-eatu-eatu, or peter-peter-peter, or peter-eater-eater will at once discover him. It is well worth one's while to write out the many different variations that may be heard proceeding from one bird. Another favorite one, judging from the frequency of its use, is peedle-peedle-peedle, or teedle-eedle-eedle, and occasionally this, cheepa-cheepa-cheepa. In short, he seems to have a song to suit every occasion. Like the chickadee, he delights in scrambling about the trees in the most reckless fashion, hanging head down as handily as a nuthatch. His crest gives him a more stately air than any of his cousins, but his inquisitiveness is equal to all combined. One cannot enter the woods but he will be sought out by this active denizen, and accompanied hither and thither with not so much as a by your leave. His habits seem to vary with locality, or possibly more exactly, with abundance. In this part of northern Ohio, where the species is not more than fairly common, the birds rarely enter the villages, and they nest almost exclusively in the woods. I am informed that further south and west they are often seen in villages, and nest there in boxes provided, as well as in the woods. The nest is placed within a box or hollow in a tree, a deserted woodpecker's hole being preferred, where leaves, strips of bark, feathers, hair, or almost any soft warm materials are arranged carefully, the coarser materials outward, the finer and warmer inside. The eggs range from 5 to 8 in number, and are creamy white, rather coarsely and evenly marked with shades of rufous brown. They average about 0.73 by 0.54 of an inch. It is said that the male bird never assists in building the nest, but sings to cheer his mate, thus revealing the whereabouts of the nest. While the northern Ohio woods are incomplete without a company of these cheerful birds, I have looked in vain for them during the early summer months in some years. In winter they range the woods for food, penetrating to every portion of it, stowing themselves away in some warm hollow in a tree at night, but in the nesting season they are confined to the region of the nest, and so are not readily seen. End of Section 1.
Section 2 of Birds and All Nature, Volume 5, Number 3, March 1899. This is a LibriVox recording.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?